What's going on, guys? Welcome back for another video on Legend of Mushroom, in which I want to talk about the new items we just got in the series of Halloween event. The first one being the Candlelight. This is an amazing artifact for both PvE and PvP. Then it's gonna depend on your class, because it's for short fights firstly, because over time, after the first 20 seconds, you are gonna start losing some health. So between 20 and 39 seconds, it's okay, you can survive, you are not losing a lot of HP, because that's equivalent to 1% of your current HP. But after a certain period of time, 40 seconds and more, you are gonna start losing a lot of health. So for a long fight, this is not a good one. But for a short fight, you are gonna heal an insane amount of HP on your character if you can deal a lot of damage. And you have 10% more attack, which is pretty strong. We are gonna see that. But in terms of damage, you will see that using that bow is still better on every kind of situation if your goal is to deal more damage. But that artifact is just an amazing one. We are gonna check that. So stay until we check that. First of all, I want to talk about the new mount. This one. Pretty nice mount for one main reason. You have a lot of attack and damage resistance reduced on the target. Okay, so this is great to increase both your damage and reduce the damage you take during a fight. But this is only for 5 seconds, and then you need to wait every 11 seconds to have that effect again. So this is not really consistent, but you also deal some damage equal to 2% of the current HP of the target per second, which is pretty nice on versus tanky fights. I mean, in PvP, if you are facing a tanky build, then this might help you to deal some extra damage. Or if you are using a tanky build, that might help you to deal some damage. I already talked about my Beast Tamer build. That was a tanky build, dealing some damage over time using the skill, the Blade Pierce, I think it's the name. Yes, that skill dealing some damage over time. That was a great build, and I'm pretty sure that this mount is great on a tanky build, dealing some damage over time based on the target's HP. But the new mount here is also going to deal some damage based on your skill, combo, and counter. So this is a good mount, but there are many better mounts in the game, in fact. So first of all, let's try that mount and compare that with other mounts we have in the game. And instead of the Candlelight, to start with, I just want to equip the bow, so we are going to compare both the two artifacts. With the new mount, you don't have any control immunity or stuff like that, control reduction, so I am forced to use that avian if I want to reduce the time being controlled. So let's go with that avian. Go in PvP. Let's try to face another plume monarch. This one, for example, he has more power than me. Let's check the fight. There we go, the fight is starting. I have a clone. I am not taking that much damage, but now it's my time to attack. Remember that at the start of the fight, I can reduce during 5 seconds the attack and the damage resistance of the target. But then, hey, what just happened? Cheat amount in front, I am dead. Okay? Let's equip another mount to see if there is a difference. I want to go with the panda mount. We all know that the panda mount is a broken mount for PvP, and of course, it's going to be better than the new mount, right? Let's find out. There we go. I can continue attacking because I am not getting disarmed. I was able to beat him. So that was perfect, right? So let's use something else. Instead of that avian, I want to use this one. I'm gonna have more damage. I don't need to use the Sunshine Bringer because I have a control immunity on my character. But unfortunately, I don't have the no speeding FX on my Firefly. That would be awesome to get it, but I can't manage to get this and other damage stuff as well. So look at that. I still had my clone. I was able to kill him, and I have even more health than before. So this is the panda mount. Now, quickly on the same fight, I want to show you the efficiency of that artifact. You are gonna understand the difference in PvP when you are facing some players who deal a lot of damage to you, and if you are a plume monarch, okay? So let's go back in here, challenge the same player, and let's see the difference. Look at that. Start of the fight. Now I can attack because I'm not controlled anymore thanks to the panda. I'm taking some damage, but look at my health. I was able to heal. But there is one issue. I can heal myself a lot and stay alive longer, but I have less damage than with the Bistro bow. So this is why I had less health remaining at the end of the fight than when I was using the Bistro bow right before. But depending on your build, it might be different. I'm not saying that I have the best build in the game for PvP, but in PvE, let's try that. Look at the hell of it on the screen right now. Look at the heals my character is getting. So look at that. I'm gonna start taking a lot of damage normally really soon. Look at that. Do you see the heals? This is completely insane. So in terms of damage, the Bistro bow is better than the other one, but you have a crazy survivability when you are using the Candlelight, which means that in specific contents, it can save your ass to use that artifact. I'm gonna show that to you in a Cloud Ascension trial, for example. Remember that stage? This is the hardest one ever, right? The 24-5. The hardest stage of the entire Cloud Ascension trial. So there we go. I put myself in frontline because my friend is a bit squishy. And let's see how long I can survive. You will see that this is completely insane. Look at the heals I'm getting. I have a damage dealer build. My health is full. I can just basically tank all the damage. But then over time, I'm starting to take more damage coming from the Dragon Breath. I have some dots on myself. And the Candlelight is also dealing some damage over time on my character. But look at that. I survived almost the entire fight. And the boss was almost dead. But there is one issue for that content, for the waves. You are not gonna have the same efficiency with that artifact in comparison with the Bistro bow. Because look at that. It's gonna take more time to kill enemies. And so I'm gonna have to tank some damage. Look at the health I'm losing on my character. I was able to clear the wave. But I'm gonna show that to you. I won't be able to beat the entire content here using that build. Look at that. Starting to lose some health. I'm gonna die really fast, even if I have a ton of heals on myself. Okay, apparently that's enough for that wave. We are gonna check for the next one. Second wave already done. Third wave. Enemies are immune to damage during the 5 first seconds of the fight. So here, I die. And really fast. And let's see what happens when I'm using the bow instead. I don't have heals. Okay, I dealt way more damage, but I died as well. But this is mostly because I was in front line. I can reduce their movement speed if I want to beat them, and this is the way to go. I just need to replace, like, the disarm and use the thorn thicket instead. Go back in here, change one pal by the way. I need to equip that snail. Let's say instead of the rabbit pal. Now come back here. And if I put myself in backline like that, you are gonna see the efficiency of the bow. So look at that. Enemies are immune to damage. I'm using the bow artifact and look at all the damage they are all gonna take in a row. Look at that. They are already dead. Only 8 seconds, okay? I'm gonna retry, but that time I'm gonna just change my artifact. Instead, I'm gonna use the new one, the Candlelight. This is just to show you the efficiency, the difference you have between the two artifacts. With one, you have a lot of survivability while having a lot of more damage, but only single target damage. But with the bow artifact, you don't have the heals, but you have crazy AoE damage. So here, look at that. It's taking way more time. They were already dead 5 seconds before. And look at that. Now they are on contact. I'm gonna have to tank some damage maybe. No, I have a lot of heals, but you know what I mean. Look at the timer here. Way more time than before. So let's equip these skills for the next boss. I don't need to use the snail anymore, so instead I'm just gonna use the Hydro Sprite. Now I have pretty nice damage. Let's come back in here, put my friend in front line, and let's retry the content. I'm already full life. That's crazy, that artifact. Okay, my friend is losing a lot of health over time because he doesn't have the Candlelight. And that's a tanky build. He's using a tanky build with a lot of regeneration rate. And look at the damage he takes. I was able to tank the damage better than him before. So look at that, now it's my time to tank. And using the Candlelight, look at that! I am still alive! Okay, that was super close, but you know what I mean. That artifact is broken for that kind of content. I was using the Cloud Drifter. What if I use the new mount instead? Because I'm also here to try the new mount, right? So let's go back in here. Now I have both the new mount and the new artifact, and let's see if that time I'm able to kill the boss. Normally my friend should take less damage than before because I'm gonna reduce by a bit the attack of the opponent. My friend is dead? Am I gonna be able to survive that time and to kill the boss in time? We are gonna find out. Look at that, the result is pretty close, exactly the same as before. So in fact, it doesn't change anything to use the new mount instead of the Cloud Drifter in that kind of content. And I feel like it's the kind of same stuff, same comment for PvP. I don't feel like that mount is that great, to be honest. But the new artifact is an amazing one. Another content in which I want to try the new artifact before ending the video. So here I have my damage dealer build, right? So I have absolutely everything to increase my damage. I'm gonna change that mount because I can have a better result using this one. Let's go back in here. We have the Magic Theater. Let's try that content. I don't have the Blitz Assault. I don't need it. I received so much heals. That is crazy. So, my clone was able to survive. Okay, he died 1 second before the end of the skill duration. But look at that. I can tank the damage. I can heal without any problem. But that boss looks a bit more tanky than the one we had last week. Because I was already on level 100. And here I struggle to deal a lot of damage to this one. And look at my final result, 7,000 billion. Last week I did 188. 100% more crit and 40% ignore evasion reduction. Okay, nothing is saying that that boss is different than the previous one. We just have the color, a different color, but it seems like I have way less damage. I don't get it, guys. But whatever. By the way, let's see what happens if I'm using that instead. Because I know that many players are telling me that I should try to use the Hydro Sprite, right? But now I don't need to use the Blitz Assault anymore or the Disarm, so I can just use that to see if I have more attack speed and more damage at the end. Look at the heals I'm getting. The fight is almost over, and my score is a bit above the previous one I had using the Hydro Sprite. 74,000. Almost 75. Still not as high as the previous week, but better than the previous one. So guys, I think that was all for the video. What I have to say about the new artifact, that's an amazing one for both PvP and PvE, but if you have the Bistro Bow, this one is a bit better in terms of final damage. If you can survive during the fight, you are gonna deal way more damage using the Bistro Bow instead of the Candlelight, but the Candlelight helps you to survive a lot in some specific content in the game, and so this is a great artifact for that. About the mount, this is an average mount. If you missed some others in the past, like the Panda mount, and forget about it. The Panda mount is essential for PvP for the control immunity. You can't replace that mount, or it means that you have the cheetah mount, you are using a DPS build and you want to have that burst of damage when you should die normally. So first, cheetah mount, Panda mount, and finally this one is coming in third position, I think, with this one, or the Blue Ox, I think. Or, yeah, these mounts are equivalent in my opinion with this one as well. Let me know your thoughts about that in the comment below. In the next one, I'm gonna try my luck, I think, on that event, because I haven't tried yet to try to get that back accessory, but it's gonna cost a lot. I have some gems remaining. I'm just gonna wait a bit to take the decision, and I'm gonna summon my souls as well, because if I show you my souls here, we have the rush event, and if I go on the soul prayer, I have 1,000 soul crystals to spend. I'm not gonna spend my red diamonds because I'm saving all of them to push my clock winders a bit higher. I am close to the next tier, so normally I think I still need more red diamonds to achieve the tier 8. We will see that when we are gonna have the rush event. Have a nice day, guys. See you on the next one. Peace out.